I see deals everywhere. I get emails from builders saying 20,
Yeah.
40,000 off, 50,000 off, incentives.
So what we're seeing right now, especially in some areas and neighborhoods in GTA, is the prices of pre-construction are on par with resale. So the premiums always would range between like 60,000, 50,000, depending upon the area. But in GTA, I saw like one of the builders offering like a walkout basement with backing onto a green space for $35,000.
Right.
So that for me is a fantastic deal because premiums were always a lot. So when you see that, you know that this is a good deal. The builders are looking to push those inventory homes soon.
Right.
So we're able to get those houses and also negotiate on the pricing as well. It ended up selling for around 2.3 million.
Wow.
So that was almost like a $500,000
Yeah.
drop. There are some specific type of houses, namely condos, which are having a really hard time selling.
Yeah.
The people who are kind of priced out of Markham end up coming to Pickering.
Right.
The people who want to move closer to commute towards downtown Toronto end up moving to Pickering. That is from Whitby. It's one of the few areas in the greater Toronto area where you get, I would say, if you're a first time home buyer, you'll probably get the maximum value for money. And for me, you won't get anything less than $850 in the greater Toronto area. I'm talking about a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, freehold townhome. If someone says, I'll know what happens in 2027, they're lying because nobody
Right.
knows what happens. But you know what is happening in the present.
A lot of people don't understand like half of the things that's on the documents. Like they don't know exactly what they're signing.
It's actually quite sad to see a lot of appraisals, fall short and sometimes you just cannot predict the market. Sometimes appraisals fall short by a lot, like $300,000, $400,000.
That's crazy. I can just imagine how these people are gonna come up with the difference if it falls short by $300,000.
But if this is going to be a forever home, it's a fantastic investment because it will jump in value because you are having people come into the housing market every year. But I think as long as it's your forever home, you should not think that it's a bad deal. It will come up in value, especially if the house which you're upsizing is a great house. For instance, something which is backing onto green space, something which is around 3,500 square feet.
Working with you is more of, you're getting a whole package. So not just a real estate agent, but actually someone who works in your best interest.
The best house for the best price is what I aim to get for you. They're purchasing a lifestyle.
I love how you said you're not just buying a house, you're actually buying a lifestyle.
Yeah, you don't want to be somebody who is, okay, I don't want to spend $5,000 more and miss out on a great opportunity. But that is going to be the difference between you clinching that house, which is the house of your dreams, versus waiting for, I don't know, a month or 2 months or 3 months and not finding the same type of house which appeals to you. Everything impacts, like, if you're living in a larger house, what are your needs? Are you a big family? I think you also want to take into picture what is your commute to your work going to be like. So everything will impact your purchase. So make that balanced decision, and you would want to have somebody neutral to just point out those things to you. I give them options, but of course at the end of the day, what speaks to them is going to be the ultimate answer.
Right. Everyone's talking about Dubai. Everyone's like buying Dubai. Billions of dollars sold out in like 2 days.
A lot of people think of Dubai as plan B.
Right.
Just because of the cost of living out here. If you're somebody who enjoys outdoor activities like hiking or greenery or just like open spaces, you can climb into your car and just go out here like in a 5-minute drive. You're in a trail.
A lot of times people, when they say, oh, we're going to buy a property in Dubai, they don't put that in equation where there's also management of that property, right? I think number one is how quick and how articulate you are. The communication, definitely, because we are human beings. And I'm putting myself in the client's shoes.
Sometimes it's the biggest financial decision of your clients.
100%. So if there's something in demand, the price is going to go up. right?
Yeah.
If no one's going to be moving to Calgary, the price is going to go down, right? We can't afford to live, even though they're renting it out in Toronto, we got to buy a house at some point. There are also a lot of people, millions of people living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford to buy a home in Toronto, GTA. So their option is Calgary, go out there, find a job, buy a home, and raise a family, and maybe come back. Toronto is by far, like, it's the most habitable place on earth, one of the most. I would say top 10.
Yeah.
It's the most desirable.
It's the reason why I bring this up specifically is I know far too many cases of a lot of people making the move back in a span of a year because their health couldn't take it because of the change in the weather. Why don't you just rent in that place? Rent for like a year, see how you like it. It's easier to get out of a like a rented place versus like selling the place and coming back. So just for the sake of I can get a house in Calgary is probably not the best reason to move versus, you know what, my job needs me there 100%. If you're making the move, make it for the right reasons. It has to be like for something which you won't get here. Real estate is a lot of money. It's not like a t-shirt or a sweater which, you know, you can return like if you don't like it or if the size is not fitting. It's just buying into an entire lifestyle. It's the difference between you getting fed up of a country and a city and wanting to move out versus saying I can envision living here for the rest of my life.
Right.
So for me, real estate was that one thing where I felt you can bring about a really positive impact on somebody's life if you do your job right. It's given me people who have really, I feel I don't even deserve some of the amount of appreciation, but because I was just doing a job, but you know, it ends up giving you so much more. He probably takes a lot of the guilt away from me because that's what you end up dealing with. You end up dealing with guilt and you end up always questioning yourself as to, am I doing the right thing by, you know, driving to Pickering on a Sunday when, you know, I could be going to the fair, the fall fair with my son. I think all moms have their own challenges. I don't think I'm the only one struggling with this. And I'm sure there are a lot of mom realtors who have done such a fantastic job. I'm glad because travel really enriches you.
Yes.
And travel is a luxury. So a lot of people would be very envious of your position as well. Like you're traveling a lot.